On the evening of the 25th of April 1986, the Soviet town of Pripyat was like any other bustling city across the world. Families were enjoying dinner, children playing outside, and the streets were filled with the sounds of laughter and conversation. This exceptionally ordinary evening would soon blossom into a living nightmare for the local people of Chernobyl. The Chernobyl Nuclear Power Plant, which had been operational for several years, was a source of pride for the Soviet Union. Its towering reactor building loomed in the distance, a symbol of modernity and progress. The people of Pripyat had faith in both the safety of the plant and the authorities that oversaw it. This would all change, of course, at 1:23 a.m. on the 26th of April, 1986. The steam explosion was powerful enough to blow the massive concrete lid off Reactor 4, collapsing the building's roof and walls, releasing an exponential amount of radioactive debris, including nuclear fuel and reactor components, into the atmosphere. The exposed reactor core ignited a graphite fire due to the presence of graphite as a moderator in the reactor. This fire released even more radioactive particles into the air. The explosion claimed the lives of 2 plant workers on the night of the explosion itself. The first responders were the plant's own firefighters. They were called to the scene to extinguish the initial fires. These firefighters were not adequately informed about the gravity of the situation and the dangers of radiation. Lacking protective gear, many of them were exposed to extremely high levels of radiation. Tragically, several of these firefighters displayed extreme heroism and self-sacrifice, working to contain the fires even though they were aware of the perilous conditions. Many of them suffered from acute radiation sickness, and some succumbed to their injuries in the days and weeks that followed. Liquidators was the term used to describe the thousands of workers and volunteers who were tasked with the cleanup and containment efforts following the Chernobyl disaster. These individuals faced extreme danger and high levels of radiation exposure during their work. They were involved in tasks such as decontaminating affected areas, removing radioactive debris, and constructing the sarcophagus. The liquidators displayed immense courage and selflessness in the face of a grave and largely unknown threat. Many of them suffered from acute radiation sickness and faced long-term health consequences. Their sacrifices were instrumental in mitigating the immediate and long-term effects of the disaster, and they are remembered for their heroism in the aftermath of Chernobyl. One day after the explosion, the immediate area around the plant, including the town of Pripyat, was highly contaminated with radioactive materials. As a result, a swift and large-scale evacuation was ordered. Pripyat, which was home to the plant's workers and their families, had a population of over 49,000 people. Residents were instructed to leave their homes and personal belongings behind, with the belief that they would return shortly. Pripyat remains an uninhabitable ghost town to this day, serving as a haunting reminder of the disaster. Over the decades, the Chernobyl Exclusion Zone has become a unique ecological sanctuary. The absence of human activity has allowed wildlife to thrive in the area. Researchers have observed the return of numerous animal species, including wolves, boars, deer, and a variety of birds. This unexpected resurgence of wildlife has even led to the zone being referred to as the Chernobyl Wildlife Preserve. Initially, the Soviet Union were extremely reluctant to admit the extent of the crisis, in an effort to conceal severe underfunding and maintain their powerful persona on the political world stage. Since the event, international assistance from organizations have highlighted the need for global cooperation in crisis response, leading to greater sharing of resources and expertise during nuclear emergencies. A pivotal lesson from Chernobyl was the critical importance of reactor safety. The flaws in the RBMK reactor design exposed vulnerabilities that could compromise safety. This revelation prompted nations worldwide to re-evaluate and enhance their nuclear reactor safety standards, operator training, and design assessments.